Folu Olatona. I'm a consultant public health physician. I work as a senior lecturer with the College of Medicine, University of Lagos. This video presentation is about practical growth monitoring. Growth monitoring is the regular measurement of the size of a child. That is, the height, weight, head circumference are measured regularly. They're recorded and plotted on a graph, and the pattern of the curve is observed to detect if there's any faltering in the growth of the child. This measurement is supposed to take place regularly. In the first few months of life, whenever the child presents at the health facility, the healthcare provider is expected to take the measurements, record them, and chart them on a graph. There are different types of graphs that can be used for this growth monitoring. The Center for Disease Control has designed some graphs which are used for children between age 2 and 20 years, while the World Health Organization has also designed some graphs that are used for children between age 0 and 5 years. These charts are in different forms. For the purpose of today's presentation, I will be using the chart that has been designed by WHO for children between age 0 and 24 months. And for the first part of the demonstration, I'm going to use the chart for length for age and weight for age percentiles. The WHO chart for children between 0 and 2 years are in two forms. The length for age and weight for age percentiles is one type of chart. Then the head circumference for age and weight for height percentiles is another type of chart. And for each type of chart, there is one for boys and another one for girls. Whenever you see a chart in pink color, that's for girls. That means if you want to chart the measurement for a girl, you must pick the one that is in pink color. And whenever you see a chart in blue color, that has been designed for boys. It's very important for a healthcare provider to know the difference and choose the appropriate chart, because in early life, the boys are a bit bigger than the girls in weight. And if the wrong chart is being used for a child, then one can make a wrong judgment about the measurement of height or weight or head circumference of that child. For the purpose of today's demonstration, I'm going to start with the chart for girls. Ladies first. The length for age and weight for age percentile chart. We'll take it from the weight for age. If our girl is weighing 3.6 kilograms at birth, we're going to chart the weight right here. Please note that on this vertical axis, each line represents 200 grams, because this is 3 kilograms, this is 4 kilograms. That means each of these 5 lines will represent 200 grams, and 3.6 kilograms will be right here. If at 3 months, this baby now weighs 6.3 kilograms, then the mark will be here. If at 6 months, the baby now weighs 7.9 kilograms, then another mark will be made here. These 3 points will be joined to find out the weight curve, or the weight for age curve for this child. Then the points will be joined. After joining the curve, it's very important to determine which curve this curve is closest to by tracing it to the end of the chart. We can see that within this chart, there are some figures appearing just at the right side within the chart. This figure refers to the percentiles, and the percentiles means the relativity of the weight for age of this child in comparison to other children of the same age. So for this girl that we have just charted her weight for age, it means this line is closest to the 75th percentile, and means that 75% of children of the same age who weigh less than this child while 25% of children of the same age will weigh above the child. If at 9 months, the child now weighs 8.6. If you trace, when we get to 8 kilograms, we need to move to the other side of the chart to be able to get the weight. The weights are recorded on both sides, either here or here. So we want to trace the kilograms from this end. So this child at 9 months is now weighing 8.8 kilograms. And then we join the line again. We notice that the line is no longer following the normal curve. There's a growth faltering at this time. The age of the child helps us to know what is going on. Between 6 months and 9 months is a time of complementary feeding, and it may mean that this child is not being given appropriate complementary feed, or the caregiver are not feeding in an appropriate manner, or maybe the child had infection. Different infections can tip the child over to malnutrition. Another scenario is if this child weighs 2.4 kilograms at birth, the point to be made here, and if by 3 months the child is weighing 4.2 kilograms, a point to be made here. And if we join these 2 points, the line will look like this. You will notice that this line is below the second percentile, and that means that this child's weight is outside the normal chart. That child is underweight. The child is underweight, and there has to be an urgent intervention because it's not thriving well. Then talking about the length for age, we want to look at a scenario where this girl length at birth is 50 centimeters. If by 3 months the length is now 60 centimeters, and by 6 months the length is 66 centimeters, this girl's curve will look like this. And the closest to the curve, the closest is the 58th percentile. Since the 58th percentile is still within the chart, within the normal range, then that means the child is doing well, the child is not stunted. But if at 9 months, this same child, the length is now 68. If the length is now 68 centimeters at 9 months, then we should note that we're going to join the two lines, the points at the 9 months and the point at 6 months. And we will note that the curve is no longer following the normal pattern. There's a faltering, there's a growth faltering there, and that means that this child is becoming stunted. We need to quickly intervene at that point. Something may be going wrong. It might just be the fact that the child is having diarrhea or is not properly fed, or the complementary feeding is not appropriate. That might be responsible. It's also possible that right from birth, this child length is 45, and then by age 3 months is 54. So if you join the line, the child is stunted because the length for age is below normal. That means this child is stunted. The length for age is not appropriate. Stunting is a sign of chronic undernutrition. It might be that the mother actually is undernourished and then there's superimposed nutrition problems on the initial one.